no idea. I thought to myself, quite frankly, that American workers would finally, get to the point of what we say, which was one of our slogans, enough
is enough.
Is enough. Mm-hmm. And do something about it. Apparently, they haven't had enough yet. But I want to guarantee you something. There will come a time when there will be enough. And it is my honest opinion that when that happens, okay, rather than a political party, I think that basically the history, they go back to the history of what they'd done back in the 20s and the 30s. They will reinvigorate the labour movement in this country and build it up again. And there will be people who are principled, dedicated labour leaders who will lead, and do the kind of things that is necessary. Now, in relationship to like the politics, I understand people, the Democratic or the Republican Party, basically, they don't represent us. They do not represent us. I mean, these two parties do not represent. Now, I know there's a movement of a Labour Party in this country, and I don't know where it is or how it's progressing. Okay? But anyhow, it's to my estimation, I still believe that we go back to the unions and reinvigorate the unions. One other thing that happened in my I obtained a document in the 70s. It is known as the Evelyn Warren document, which prescribed, Evelyn has
84,
the
Warren letter. I think
the
you put it
Warren,
on the front page of your
Warren,
newspaper. Yeah.
I got a hold of this. Nobody knows how I got a hold of it. General Motors told me that they put one of the most expensive investigations into to find out how.
Will you disclose?
The guy died.
Will you disclose today how? Will you disclose? Because a lot of people have been asking me.
Now, let me tell you something what I've done.
We'll have to kill you then.
That's not the point. The point is I know that if I release this, well, it's Kelly. I mean, they've done a good job on me, over the years. He's always against everything. He never heard. So I called a meeting in which I invited the leadership of Flint down to my executive board, and I gave them copies, each one of them. And I told them, read this. How they were going to reduce the 500,000 workers from General Motors to 250,000. How they were going to do this. It was a plan for the next 5, 10, 15 years in General Motors, led out by Warren and Evelyn. Okay? Amazing. I didn't have to wait too long. One of the persons who I gave it to was a Mike, whatever his name was. He was the president up here. He became something.
Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett.
Yes.
Mike Bennett was on the 6 o'clock news that night.
Yeah.
Telling everybody about this terrible document.
He was against it.
Mike Bennett wasn't going to do anything about it. Mike Bennett used it to enhance his own position, to get a staff job and on and on. Anyway, that became a real problem for him. To the point is that Evelyn with that and with the General Motors contract, we talk about when I believe firmly that I was responsible for Evelyn to lose his job in General Motors. He was transferred from GM to Ford, and Yukich was transferred back. Shortly thereafter, he left and went to MIT. He was no longer GM.
Company had a lot of praise for him after he passed.
Good riddance. Anyway, okay. So these are things like, there's so much that went on. We took so many defeats, but we also done some damn good things and got some things done. And I think that that's very important for you to understand. There's probably a whole lot more than I could say, but I will close here, and if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Ellis?
Several questions. I'll just put them all out there. Don't have to answer all of them. But there must be something that's prompted you to come to us and talk to us. We haven't, unless I haven't heard from you in many years, and now you're here. It's wonderful to hear you again. Has there been some recent development, or did you just happen to be here visiting family?
Oh,
Let me put the other two on the table. Matters that you may not know or have an opinion about, but I wonder if you'd comment about the Detroit newspaper strike. That was something that electrified the city and the area, and it had a tragic ending. And also, I wonder if you could comment on what happened with Donnie Douglas.
Okay. First of all, I come up here every year to see my children and grandchildren. Okay, I retired in 1993 and went to Florida. Okay, and I come up here every year. Nobody ever contacted me.
I'm glad to have you.
Okay,
Thank you.
nobody called. The only person who calls is my family bill here.
And now we're
Okay, I come up. I go to the local every time I come up here. Nobody contacted me. When I retired, I seemed to disappear to people. Nobody tried to contact me. I had no contacts. The second thing is
Detroit newspaper strike.
newspaper strike. Again, that should have been supported by unions throughout this area in relationship to close them down.
The UAW played a good role in that.
For a while,
UAW played a good role in the area. They talk about picking up money for them to help them out monetarily. That's not enough. What's really enough is to put your goddamn ass on the line and close it. Shut it down.
Here, here,
Yes.
here.
Well, there are national strikes happening in Europe. Why can't we do it? Because the simple reason is, the labor movement views itself as weak today, and it is weak today.
But Ellis is right. For a while, the newspaper strike looked like it could really set things rolling again, and it did for a short term.
Well, the
We
access
had,
strike looked like it could set things rolling
We had
again.
labor, community, religious coalition meetings every week attended by hundreds of people, and at one point we called for a one-day general strike throughout the whole region. Some of the striking locals endorsed that, and
There were some good things, but it petered out, is my opinion.
The
And
last-
they recommended buying the paper again, which I still won't do.